Thank you for tuning in to the pre-show. Thank you, Mallory and Nick Saban Jr. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you guys are doing good. How's the sound? Can you guys hear me well? Let me know if you can hear me well, as I'm not getting any feedback for some reason. So I'm guessing we're good. So we got a serious topic. We're talking George Floyd. So don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Tell everyone that the show is live. Tweet it. Text someone. Share it on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Let's join the conversation. Be right back. Welcome to the See Through It podcast. I'm your host, Brian Sales. And today you see our topic, episode 6. We're talking George Floyd. I'm not going to go into the promos until after I'm going to change up the lineup of how I do things. But it's a serious topic. I had another topic planned due to Joe Biden opening his mouth and saying some nonsense things. I had a bunch of shows planned and this happened, and it was just time to, talk about it. And all day I was conflicted because I felt like there was two topics that could have been had, or two discussions that could have been had with this one situation. But after further looking at it and, having going to my wise counseling and understanding that they're very different. So we definitely going to have that conversation on another day. But today we're talking George Floyd, and I'm going to open up with this. Let me get to it. I should have already had it up. So you already know my background. You know my background. I'm going to just lead off with this. So Matthew 24:12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. You're probably saying to yourself, well, what does that mean? What does that have to do with anything? Well, it means a lot, and it has to do with everything that's going on in this world today. As you can tell, our society today doesn't really care about one another. Our society today will walk all over you to get to wherever they need to be. Our society today has shown a disdain for, I'm not going to say that. Our society has shown that if you break the law and if they feel like it's justified, they will kill you. And I'm not saying all police officers are bad, but when things like this happen and you don't understand why or how this is happening, then that scripture makes a lot of sense. Our hearts have turned cold. Other people's hearts have turned cold. There's no compassion. We've become, what's the word dehumanized, where we feel like other people or other races are not worth anything. And it's sad. Yesterday, I watched that video of George Floyd, and I watched the whole thing, and it was maddening. I felt the fire, I felt the rage starting to boil over. But then I tweeted out, I wanted to know more information. I wanted to see why, how did we get to this point? But then after further looking at it and then finding out, there was 4 police officers on the scene. Hey, Papa White. There was 4 police officers on the scene, and to see that there was no compassion. Despite what we might know about him committing fraud or forgery or, passing off fake money, whatever the case may be, there is a human being pleading for his life, while another human being is standing or kneeling into his neck, showing no worries, no stress, nothing. He showed nothing. And I remember the look on his face, because when I was in combat training, when we would do our techniques, fighting and taking people down or whatever, I had someone and I had them in a submission hold, and some of my battle buddies was like, Sales, how you look so calm when you was choking them out? How you look so calm? You was so calm. How is that possible? And my response was, I knew what I needed to do. I knew the move that I wanted to apply, and I knew that I had to do. I knew that I had to take control of what was going on. There's no reason to be anger or rage, and I was calm about it. And I saw that same look on that guy's face. Absolutely, Papa White. Papa White says, it definitely was murder. Another text says, it was very upsetting, and I definitely agree. And like I said, I was watching the officer's face, and he showed no emotion. There was no compassion. There was nothing there was nothing there. He knew what he was doing. He wasn't in danger or anything. He knew what was happening. He just didn't care what was happening. We can speculate. Was it because he was a black man? Looks like it. Perception. When I was in the military, they drill that into our heads. Perception is everything. If you look like you are doing something wrong, then you are doing something wrong. Don't never put yourself in a position where people have to question your motives. Don't never put yourself in a position where people have to question, what is he doing over there? Why is he doing that? That looks fishy. And we keep coming across where police officers are killing black men. And I'm not gonna sit here and say it's in that alarming rate, or the number shows that it's skyrocketing, or I'm not gonna say that at all, because from my research it's low. But the ones that they're showing, for the most part, I've been, he was resisting. But on this one, I can't say that. That was murder. That was downright murder. That's what it was. And I can always have that conversation of, well, how did we get here? What law? Why did he decide to commit fraud or blah blah blah? But none of that matters, because now he's dead, and he was laying on the ground pleading for his life for 10 minutes. Absolutely. Papa White texts in, he shut the blood flow off. He absolutely did. I know that exact hold. Yes. He applied that, and it was on purpose. It was malicious. It was not to protect himself. He was in no danger. He did it on purpose. Like I said, we can sit there and question his actions before. And I know I had a show last week that I talked about choices and making the right choice. But I'm going to hit on that a little bit later. I really want to drive home the fact that we have lost compassion for one another. When people are trying to justify or making fun of, or saying it was okay, and then you have police officers, three other police officers standing there, not doing anything. They showed no compassion. You know something is wrong, and you say nothing. You do nothing because those are your brothers in blue. I get it. I get that. But I'm of a mind state that says, if you're in the wrong, I'm going to hold you accountable. Brother, sister, it does not matter. And that's how me and my family, we did it for so long. It didn't matter if we was brother and sister. We held each other accountable for the things that we were doing. Because you know why? We cared. We loved one another. We wanted to see each other do the right thing. These four officers, they did not care what happened to that black man. Absolutely. It's my dad texts in, it doesn't matter. The end result does not justify it. Absolutely. Does not justify. The man was on the ground, handcuffed, with three officers on top of him. Three officers on top of him, one choking him, and the other guy being a tough guy. Worried about those people that's saying, hey, he's losing it, instead of checking his own police buddies. Let me see. I'm reading the text. Let me see. We do expect, and my mom used to always say, don't put your faith in man, because they are going to fail you. They are going to fail you. But when your tax money is going to a department that you believe is supposed to be there to protect and serve you, and this is what's happening, it does make you uneasy. I've known the past twice. I've been pulled over twice in the past year. The first time I was speeding, I didn't even know. I didn't see a sign, but I was speeding, and I got pulled over. It was dark. Cop came out of nowhere, and I was literally, my heart was like pounding and racing. I had to text my wife. I was like, hey babe, I got pulled over. I don't really know why. I'm on this street. I'm just letting you know. And it was like, that was the first time. And I've been pulled over many times before, and I've had weapons on me, and I never felt that way. I've been stopped, and I've had a weapon on me, and I never felt that way. But in the new climate, the new society that we're in, with the hatred that runs, I don't even know if I'm wrong for saying the hatred. It's something. Something has to change. Something has to give. But like I said, I've read the scripture. Because of wickedness, man's heart's gonna it's sad. It's sad. Let me get back to the scripture. I'm gonna read it one more time. I read it earlier. It's for everyone that didn't catch it. Matthew 24:12. And because of iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. I don't wanna be killed by a police officer because of I'm black. I don't want my kids to be killed because they're black. I don't think anyone should be afraid of being stopped, despite their color or whatever. No one should be afraid that they might not make it home. No one should be afraid of that. No, that should never cross your mind. And I get it, yes. Some police officers have came across some evil people. But that's not every stop. That police officer should be in the jail right now. There's nowhere in America where any one of us would have did that thing, put our knee in another civilian's neck. There's no way we would have been able to go home that same day. There's no way we would have been able to go home that same day. We would have been in jail. Uh, Bail would have been the following day. Probably would have been almost $500,000. You'll probably be sitting in jail for a long time before you even go to trial. Like, it's not the same justice. I applaud the mayor for standing up and saying this was wrong immediately. Like, there was no, let me look at it, let me figure it out, let me study it. I'll get back to you in 2 weeks, and then we'll talk about it in the city council. And depending on how you guys feel, I'll flip it and then go with what you're. No, he came out and said this was wrong, and that's what we need. We need more people in those positions saying that. Absolutely. It's evil. We need more people in those positions saying that. We talk about good cops so much. We say, of course there's good cops. Of course there's good cops. Of course. I'm just wondering, where are they? Where are they? Absolutely, Kasi. She texts in and says she doesn't understand the putting their knee in his neck. It makes no sense. I just want to I want to understand why on some of these calls there's so many bad cops. One cop got fired because he spoke up. This was weeks before in another incident. I don't know what the incident was, but he got fired. And that's probably why. And that's not a good reason, though. But that's probably why a lot of the good cops stay in the shadows. Because they don't want to be looked at funny. They don't want to lose their job. They don't want to be seen as not the team player. That culture needs to change. The police culture needs to change. And that's coming from me. Like, I wanted to be a police officer. I wanted to be a police officer. I wanted to move up through the ranks, become an FBI agent. Like, that's what I wanted to do. It never worked out that way. Uh, I don't know. I don't know for what reason, but it never worked out that way. I passed all my tests and whatever else, but that's another day, another topic. But I wanted to be a police officer. So this is not coming from a place of me hating police officers like other people. This is coming from a place of I want to understand. I want to understand, why is this happening? I'm not going to push the hate button because that's too easy. We already have so much division. We don't need a community against police officers. We don't need communities against communities. We don't need that. What we need is some understanding, some conversations, some honest conversations to be had to fix the issue. And again, I get it. Not every interaction with a civilian and a police officer is this tragic. I get that. There's tons of situations where police officers had to defend themselves. But there's tons of situations where police officers immediately just went on attack mode. And 2 weeks before that, the same situation happened, and that the other person is still alive. When things like that start happening, we have to open our eyes and see what is happening. We have to question this stuff. We can't just pass it off like, whatever, that wasn't too serious. That was more serious. No. When the same action is done by two people, but different races, and no one says anything when the other person is alive and the other person is dead. Red flags, yellow flags, everyone should be saying something. It's not even a race thing anymore. It's a human. It's compassion. Wrong is wrong. There's nothing right about that. A text just came in. Let's see what it says. So his character, this needs to be revealed. This cop was under investigation in 2008 for a shooting. I'm sure there are other leading indicators that this officer should have been released years ago. And there's so many cases like that. There's so many cases like that. There was a case like that in South Bend, Indiana, where a man was perceived to be breaking into cars. We don't know the full story. Well, I don't know the full story, so I'm not going to say we don't know, but I don't know what was really going on. But the officer that shot him already had a background of reports of being racist, saying racist things, having hatred toward black people. But he was allowed to stay on the department. How? There were good cops telling on him, reporting his actions. But he wasn't fired. He wasn't released. None of this made the news. How? That's the stuff right there that angers me. Like, how is this? I mean, that could have been any one of us. That could have been me. If I was just one day in Minnesota and for some unknown reason I got stopped and he wanted to pull me out of the car and put his knee in my neck, and I'm not doing anything but following his orders. I could be dead because he already had hatred towards black men. Yes, I am a black man. I am more than a black man. I am a father. I am a husband. I was a warrior, still a warrior. Served this country. I shouldn't have to die because of my race. I shouldn't have to die because someone hates the color of my skin. Everyone in that department should be held accountable. The chief of police, the mayor, even though he came out, everyone should be held accountable because they allowed him to stay on the force. They enabled him to abuse his power. Let's see, my dad texts in. So therefore the system empowers these criminals and they fail to protect those sworn to serve. I had to bring it back in. It got it that's the anger that I feel. I wouldn't say that I feel like I'm being hunted or I'm walking around with a target on my back, but it makes me 20 times more aware of my surroundings, on top of my training that's already been put in me. It's so fatiguing. It's so fatiguing going out to the stores. I'm just telling you my personal me on my everyday life. It's fatiguing. Going out to the stores, watching everyone, making sure I'm not doing anything that might be perceived as a crime. Making sure I'm polite to everybody. So no one has a reason to call the cops on me. I don't want to die for no reason. So I walk that straight line. Making sure I'm dotting all my I's and crossing my T's so I make it home. Because again, I am more than a black man. I am a father, a son, a husband. The conversation needs to be had. These conversations need to be had. Serious conversations. We need more people outside of the black community to say something. And again, I've already stated this. Of course, not everyone's an angel. Not everyone's walking that line. Not everyone's, doing what they're supposed to do. But he was already on the ground. And the hatred that was in that officer's heart. He felt nothing. He did not care. I know because I had that same look. I was in that same state when I did all my training. We need to start holding people accountable. Hold your city officials accountable. Hold your chief of the police accountable. We can do all of this without dividing the people. There's no reason why a good cop should be fired for trying to protect and serve his community. The cop is fired for telling on other cops. He's doing his job, protecting and serving his community from other bad cops that are out there hunting people of color or who don't care about people of color. We got to do better. The only way to do better is to have these conversations and do the right thing. Do the right thing. So that's all I have. That is it. Again, I hope you understood what I was saying. I hope you understood the anger and the passion that I have for this whole situation. It could have been me. It could have been my brother. It could have been my dad. You don't know how exhausting it is to go out in public. And again, I'm not saying I walk around like I have a target on my back. I'm not saying that I feel like I'm hunted. What I am saying is that I know that I have to walk a clean path Because if I don't, I might not make it home. I want to make it home. I want to make it home. So, so before we get out of here, don't let the media divide us. Don't let the media divide us. Don't let the evilness that other people are projecting onto us divide us. Prayer and conversation, and hopefully things will get better. So before we I changed the whole layout of how I do my orderly things. So let's go ahead and run through the contact information. So as you see, I hope you guys like all the updates I've done to the podcast. I was working. I did a lot. I hope you guys like it. If you don't, let me put it in the chat right there. Let me say you don't like it or you do like it or whatever. Let me know if you think I should do some more change, whatever. But I hope you guys like what I have put together for this podcast. But anyway, if you're watching on YouTube, please share, like, hit the thumbs button up or hit the thumbs button down. And if you hit that thumbs button down, tell me why. Don't leave me hanging. Tell me why you didn't like it, okay? Let me know why. You can also follow me on Twitter at SeeThroughIt1. If you'd like to donate to the show, paypal.me/SeeThroughIt. Facebook page, we've up to 406 followers, 360 some odd likes. So we're doing good there. So thank you very much for all the love and support there. Also follow, if you want to collab on a podcast episode with me, hit me up on my Gmail account at SeeThroughItPodcast@gmail.com. Here you go right here. Here's the audio for everyone that doesn't want to watch video. You don't want to see my face or whatever. Here is the audio portion of the podcast. You can find it on anchor.fm. You can listen on Spotify, Pocket Cast, Breaker, Radio Public, Stitcher, and Google Podcasts. Right now, I think I'm inching close to getting the podcast on Apple Podcasts. So bear with me. We are definitely working on that note. A huge shout out to Mr. White for his support and his contributions to the show. I greatly appreciate what he's done for me and helping and going back and forth. We have these conversations. Thank you again, Mr. White. So if you're in Tennessee and you need some tire service done, or if you're driving through Tennessee, Nashville area, and you got a bad tire, go see him. He's not going to give you a discount, but go see him and tell him I sent you. Maybe y'all can have a conversation, talk about the show or whatever. Go and see my man, Mr. White. Also, a very special thank you to Kasi and her contributions to the show. A big supporter of the show. I am so grateful for you, Miss Kasi. Thank you very much. I am getting close to getting shirts out, so hopefully we can get all the material that I need to get to put these shirts together, and I will have your order sent up. So thank you again for your support, Kasi. So again, folks, I hope the show opened your eyes from a different perspective. I've seen on Facebook today, it was a lot of people pushing hate, a lot of people, and I understand, like, they're angry, they're tired of the killing of the black men, and I get it, but there's no reason to push hatred. We have enough of that already. There's no reason. I get you're being emotional and you're just fed up, but nothing's going to come of pushing more hatred. If anything, more lost life is more lives are going to be lost because of it. So I hope you guys are able to see and understand how difficult it is to be in these situations. Okay, I hope you guys understand, and so if you like the show, please share it. Share it on YouTube, share it through Twitter, Facebook. Have everyone else join the conversation. And oh, quick announcement. So June 1st, I'm running a contest for the whole month of June. If you can get people, if you can tag people, 3 people, no, let's do 2 people, and share whatever episode. Each time you do that for the whole month of June, your name will go into a bucket or something, of some kind of container, something, but your name. Every time you do it, your name will go into it. We'll be doing a giveaway, a $50 gift card, a shirt, a mug, a shirt, mug, and a gift card. And that's for the whole month of June. So you can get, if you watch the show Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and you share it and you tag people, your name can go in that container 3 times. So June 1st, as soon as June 1st, that the month of June starts, then there's an episode. It's game on. So trying to find ways to promote the show, marketing and all that, trying to get business savvy. I learned some things while I was in my business administration class. So I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Remember, do not be blinded by the media. Hashtag see through it. On that note, guys, I hope you have a good night. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.